In fact, the two of you have actually shared a kiss.
I compared their version of feminism to racism.
I took it and I crumpled it up into a ball and I threw it into a burning trash pit.
The first guest of the Paulie and Dev Show, I never thought it would be Theo.
I would murder you in a final. All right, Devin was like, no, you wouldn't because you're an idiot.
I saw the ending coming a mile away because I have been the victim of a Theo Campbell rile up.
I am a moron.
Taking accountability is the most freeing thing you can do.
This isn't the first time I've made a complete ass of myself.
The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Devin Walker.
Bonus app.
Bonus ep.
Wow, Cardinals swagged out.
Cardinals swagged out for the motherfucking bonus ep.
That is an electric. It's an electric red right there.
That is an electric
Very red.
Very red today.
Okay, you want to know what I'm going to try to do this app?
Talk to me.
I'm going to try to look right down the barrel. I don't know if people notice this or not, but usually when I'm on here, if I'm thinking, I'm looking away for some reason. I've noticed this. So I'm trying to go straight down the barrel for as much of this as I can. It's going to be difficult, but we're going to give it our best shot. What bonus ep is this? 4 or 5?
This is bonus ep 4.
Bonus ep 4. Okay, Paulie, well, let's just hop right into it. So we're going to have our first guest on today. He goes by the name of Theo Campbell. You and him have a checkered and very colorful history. In fact, the two of you have actually shared a kiss. And this episode actually has a theme. And if you were to ask me to spell the word, I don't think I could do it. But the word is accountability. Now, let me give it a try, actually.
Give it a try. I want to see this.
Acountability.
Okay, you missed a C, but you nailed everything else.
Where?
You put one C. There's two C's.
There's two C's in accountability.
Two C's in accountability.
Okay, though. Well, that's the first lesson of the episode.
First lesson of the episode, guys. Two C's in accountability.
Yeah. So here's the deal. We're going to be talking about Vanderpump Villa season 3 and the challengers' stay at the villa, which was in England, Theo's home country. Most people that know me know I'm not too fond of that landmass. Mm-hmm. I think the food sucks and I don't like their accents. Yep. So I'm just going to start there. I'm going to just kind of own that. I'm going to take accountability for not liking England very much.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Not a fan of England, Mainly, I don't know. I don't feel like I need to like a country that we absolutely dominated in a Revolutionary War.
Once a year, Kyle texts me and tells me that they're coming to take it back. Once a year, I get a text from Kyle. It's usually on or around the 4th of July. And he says, we're coming to take it back. Don't get too comfortable. And I've always found that to be very funny. What was not funny was the challenge visits Vanderpump Villa season 3. Now, depending on who you are, you may have found some humor in it. Mm-hmm. But I can assure you that none of the girls that were there found it to be funny at all.
Oh, yeah.
And so we've talked a lot about doubling down. We've talked about even tripling and quadrupling down. And I'm actually going to do the complete opposite here. I'm interested to see Theo's response, I guess, to the viewing of the episode. But I will say here first, just get it out in the open, that my actions on that show were not okay. And I have to take ownership and accountability of the fact that regardless of what ensued, I was completely out of line, not only for a baby shower, but I think in general. Now, when you add the context that it actually was a baby shower, it amplifies how bad it was. But what I wanted to do to start this episode, this isn't the first time I've made a complete ass of myself. on television. This isn't the first time I've made a complete ass of myself in a hot tub on television. I'm hoping it's the last, right? That's the goal here is you don't want to repeat the same mistakes. But I wanted to open this up with a question to you.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any moments, you've had a long tenure on TV, are there any moments that you wish you could go back and change?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And here's the thing. Since we're having an accountability app,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna let people in on some things that maybe I've doubled down on publicly, that I've never retracted my statements because I'm such a double downer. But there are times where you need to understand where you take accountability. And as someone who has ruined many very important situations in real life, because if it comes to me, if I'm feeling a certain type of way, I never had the filter of, wait a second, we're at a funeral, we're at a wedding, we're at a baby shower, we're at someone's birthday. Probably shouldn't do these things or say these things that you're about to do. I've done those things. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
embarrassed looking back and reflecting on those things, being like, man, I thought I was so in the right. I thought that this is how I handled being disrespected, and everybody should have understood my perspective from it. But looking back as an older man now, at my younger self, I was wrong. I was just an absolute dickhead. And
Mm.
one thing I want to say is, in the Big Brother house, was a big old double downer on coming at the word feminism.
Mm.
Mm. Big old, big old came at them girls throwing that word around there. And I was like, I don't think you guys understand the meaning. And I actually insulted them, being like, you're actually stupid with your definition of feminism.
Were they getting the def wrong?
No, they were, no, the definition, was right. I just kind of feel like how they were presenting it was more like a we hate men
Right.
thing,
As
and
opposed to
not,
an equality situation.
yeah, as opposed to an equality thing. However, it wasn't really my place to ridicule them and call them stupid. And also, I compared their version of feminism to racism. I was like, the way you
Mm.
look at this of like, we hate this gender is kind of like how racists look at we hate this race.
Mm.
And I have never once,
It's not a fair comparison.
not a fair comparison at
No.
all. And I have never once apologized or taken accountability for being absolutely wrong with how I came after that. And I did. And I'll also take it a step further. Jury House, that same season, me and Devon were at each other's necks. We were throwing low blows at each other. I immediately went to where it was going to hurt her. I brought her kid into it.
Oh,
Told her she
no.
was told her she was a terrible mother, sending a bad example for her daughter.
Mm.
And that, I'm all for the banter. Absolute low blow. Should have never went there. Kids are off limits. I'm big on that. If somebody said that about a child of mine, if I had a child, it would be very bad. So I have had moments where I have ruined situations. I've had moments
Hmm.
at funerals where there was a family member there that it brought a person outside of the family that I didn't like, who I didn't think should be at the funeral for whatever reason. I've caused scenes there. I'm not proud of it. Actually embarrassing.
I thought you were using the funeral as like a reference point. This is a real story.
This is a real
Got
a
it.
real story from my life in my 20s.
Yeah, that's tough time though. That's a tough time and that's a tough place. So, I mean, I don't have the full context of the situation, but if you're taking accountability and you're owning up to the fact that it was a mistake, then I got to take your word for it here and just say congratulations. Isn't it a little freeing?
Oh my God. Taking accountability is the most freeing thing
Yeah.
you can do. I mean, I've had to take accountability so many times when it's come to like cheating scandals and everything, because I feel like those are big things where people double down on, right? Like they try to be like, well, I cheated because of this, or I was doing this because of that. It's a little bit more freeing to kind of be like, I did this, whether I knew it was right or wrong, or whether I thought it was okay or not. I did it.
Yeah.
So just hit me with your best shot. Tell me exactly how you feel about me with this, but you can't really hurt me worse than I've already ridiculed myself in order to take this accountability. So it's like anything you say, I've already said it to myself 10 times.
1,000 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. You bring up a very interesting point, and I think that I talked about this briefly on Wes's Patreon, which we both have actually gone back to back on. And
I think
I
Dev's a big
think,
Paulie and Dev Show guy.
yeah, he's a big supporter, friend of the show. Wes Bergman, friend of the show.
Yeah.
So reality TV accountability is very different than real life accountability. And I don't want the lines to get blurred here because things do get edited and they get played sometimes out of the timeline. And sometimes even words that you said in an interview will be put into a shot from behind your head, right? And so it's really easy to explain it away. I don't want this to be that. And what you just brought up a really good point is regardless of what happens to bring somebody in me in this situation, you in your situations, to a point where they then make a mistake, that life is about reactions to things and how you handle your reaction to things. So if your reaction to something is wrong, I think it's important to take ownership of that when it becomes very evident that the reaction was wrong, regardless of what led to it. There's always an opportunity if you feel like you didn't handle something the right way to have handled it better. And I think that's what we're talking about right now is there's no blame that's going to get put on anybody else in this situation aside from myself. I had the power to react a completely different way. I did not act that way. I instead went fully off the deep end and in the moment doubled and tripled down. And public fuck ups for me require public apologies and public accountability. And I am sorry to Olivia. I'm sorry to Michelle. I'm sorry to Tori, to Anissa, to Ryan. I am sorry for the way that I acted. I'm sorry to Theo and Josh. I am sorry for the way that I acted to Derek, who was being great the whole time. I'm truly, and I, just like you said, I've beat myself up about this since it's aired. I'm truly sorry for the way that I acted. It was 100% inappropriate. It was embarrassing, mainly for, the person closest to me in that situation, which is my girlfriend. So I'm very sorry for that situation. And it just, regardless of what what brought it there, my reaction was wrong. And there is no way to move about the cabin to switch that around. I was in the wrong with my reaction. It was embarrassing to watch back, and that's what I just have to own it, and I need to say sorry to those people. So I am sorry to everybody that was there for ruining night one, and I really did ruin it. And on the challenge, that might have been another Tuesday night, but we weren't on the challenge.
Right.
We were at a baby shower at Vanderpump Villa where we were
Yep.
essentially supposed to get waited on and
Yep.
have a fun time. And I took it and I crumpled it up into a ball and I threw it into a burning trash pit. And that's on me. That's on me. And the only thing I can do is take full ownership and accountability of my actions, which were wrong, apologize for those actions, and try to be a better man moving forward. And that's all I can do. So I hope that is received well. And all I can do is learn from the situation and try not to be such a dickbag in the future.
Guys, the Paulie and Dev Show is also a personal growth show.
Yep.
Okay. We
Mm-hmm.
want you guys to see yourselves in us. And we want you to be along the journey. Like when we make mistakes and we have to take personal growth moments and hold ourselves accountable. And I think what Devin did here takes a lot of courage, takes a lot of balls, and most men don't do it.
I
And I
don't think
think
most people do it.
most people don't do it, but I think the
Yeah.
true testament of a man's character and a man's personal journey is taking accountability in moments where he's wrong. And Dev, I got to say, I'm very proud of you. I'm inspired by you.
Appreciate that.
Like, listen, we're hosts together, but I look at you like now you're family because we're kind of like business partners in this, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I got to look out for you like this is a marriage. And, we've had
Well,
conversations.
maybe not a marriage.
Well, not like, not like a
Yeah.
marriage, but like,
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. But like, we've had conversations off camera and we've talked about this like men. And I feel like we've bounced great ideas off of each other in terms of like how we can always grow from these situations. And I think that's exactly what you did here. And, I hope everybody, all parties involved can see this and, understand that you're still the guy that they love. And there was just a moment of weakness that
Yeah.
happened. And here you are. And we do actually have somebody who could comment on that because they're in the waiting room right now.
Well, let's get him on here. Ladies and gentlemen, the first guest to ever be on the Paulie and Dev show. He is Theo Campbell, and he's right here.
Theo Campbell, the first guest of the Paulie and Dev show. I never thought it would be Theo. Did you ever think it would be Theo?
I mean, I had an inkling once I figured out that we were going to be talking about Vanderpump Villa season 3. It felt like it did feel appropriate. Theo, how the hell are you?
What's going on? Am I the first guest?
You're our first guest. You're our number one first
Oh
guest.
Oh my God, what a privilege. I didn't know this. If I'd have known, I would have put on my tuxedo, my suit. I would have dressed up to match the occasion. But hey ho, we're here anyway.
Theo, before we dive into Vanderpump Villa season 3, I want to lead with something that's incredibly exciting because I am a huge Mr. Beast show fan, and I want you to take this opportunity. Am I correct in saying that you need some crowd participation here to potentially get on season 3? And what is it, and how can the Paulie and Dev show viewers help you?
Great. I'm glad you asked, actually. I was going to mention it towards the end, but we're opening up with that because big opportunity if you don't know what Beast Games is already, but they're going into season 3, Mr. Beast is having 190, every country on the planet. I think it's 195 countries, pretty much. One person from each country to represent their country. Okay. And it's going to be one person from each country, and we're all going to go against each other, and whoever wins, wins. And out of tens of thousands of applicants, I've made it to the top 4. But Mr. Beast style, he's put it down to a public vote. So it's between me and 3 others, and I need everybody, who's watching this video now to vote. Because I need every vote possible because the competition, you never know. You can't see the votes at the moment, so I don't know if I'm losing or winning at the moment, but everyone matters. And whoever wins gets to go pretty much next week. No, about 10 days.
Can you vote multiple times, or is it one and done? Do you know?
It's only one, and there's only supposed to be people from that country. But D-Lo, if you have a VPN, turn it on, put UK, get a vote in, because we need some challenge representation on there. And actually, funny enough, did you see who else is qualified as well?
I have seen who else is qualified.
I missed it. Who is it?
The Turbinator has qualified
Turbo.
for Turkey, and Asaf, I believe is his name, qualified
from Israel.
For Israel.
Oh my God, that's so electric.
Me and Turbo are like universally bound.
Wait, is it all
World Wars 1 together? The 2 finals he's made, I was there. And now somehow we're both trying to get on Mr. Beast.
By some twisted turn of fate, you and Turbo are sitting here ready to do it. It's crazy that after you move to America is when you now need votes in the UK.
I know. Just like the universe works in funny ways.
I mean,
I do have a VPN, so I'm throwing votes every
right?
day.
You got to call some favors in. I think you got to get Kyle on the horn. You got to get
I've messaged everyone. All right,
yeah.
And I'm writing a list for everyone who's a hater and hasn't shared it on their story or hasn't even voted or replied to my message.
Theo, so, I like to call out haters. Who hasn't responded to your message?
To be fair, I did blanket message like 100 influencers, and some have.
He's got a spreadsheet going. He's using the algorithm to keep track of it. It sounds like all dudes, though. Is it dudes and chicks, or is it just dudes?
No, it's a mix. It's a mix of anyone.
So, but okay, what I thought I saw was you and 3 other dudes from the UK. So it's just that they're just picking a dude from the UK, or is it one each from each country?
It's 2 guys, 2 girls.
It's 2 guys, 2 girls.
Yeah.
Only one of you goes. They're not taking one of each gender.
No, just one.
Wow.
Just one. And it's funny enough, like, 'cause I know like Mark Long and stuff. You know, he applied for the US one, so I was expecting to see some more from some more obvious familiar faces for the US. But I was like, I don't know any of these people, so I feel kind of lucky that they kind of picked me.
Yeah.
Oh my
You know,
God.
to
Well,
be selected. But I thought
congratulations.
the US pool is huge. Apparently, you know, the casting director was like, you know, there's hundreds of thousands of applicants and stuff. So I'm quite surprised on, you know, I've only seen a few different countries so far because it's just popped up on my timeline. But yeah, it's going to be super random.
Oh
So
man, I really
fingers
love that
crossed.
show and I truly hope that you make it on there. But before we send you off to another show, we need to talk about the one that just aired.
I haven't even watched it.
I wouldn't recommend it.
I know we was gonna have a watch party like the day after it come out, and then we got like 5 messages saying Theo's an idiot, so we cancelled the watch party with our brand new neighbors because I don't want to be judged. So
Yeah,
we haven't watched it. We're just ignoring it.
I hear you there. Yeah. So I watched it the way I watch most other shows, which is I forward through. Now, I'm going to preface it by saying this. For me, right, because my skin is so thick from being a complete moron, I feel like I should say this too. I am a moron. So like the
Oh,
it
100%.
it wasn't yeah, it wasn't that far out of my scope of like embarrassment. I've had worse moments on TV, which almost makes it worse because I think I was downplaying it a little bit, but in the rewatch back, it was lame. I was lame as hell. I
I
was
was trying to
being
tell you.
Dude, I was being so lame and dumb, and I need to just apologize to you in directly in your face. I'm sorry, and to Olivia, I'm so sorry. And again, to my girlfriend, your Olivia's one of her closest friends is my girlfriend, and I just completely fucked it. And I wasn't actually really even invited. I was a plus one, which also makes it worse. It makes it so much worse that
Hey,
I
man,
just
mate.
I went to a place as a plus one and essentially ruined the first day for sure. Now it was a little
Only the last hour of the night, I'd say.
well
It was a great day. We had fun that day. I think it was hilarious. It was funny. The last part of it, from other people's perspectives, it was probably ruined, but it wasn't in my eyes.
okay. Well,
I had a great time.
I do
And
appreciate
this is
that.
this is why Theo's here. I want to get Theo's perspective on this. As me watching it from the outside, I saw the ending coming a mile away because I have been the victim of a Theo Campbell rile up once or twice in my day. And when I see Theo start getting the wheels turning, I know what's coming next. So Theo, give me a little play-by-play about the wind-up that was happening, you know?
Oh, well, started off as a joke, and it was a joke the whole way through. But me and Devin, well, everyone was really drunk, all right. And then Devin used to say this thing on season 40. He goes, "It doesn't matter. Like, if you get to the final, like you're gonna lose, you know, because you know you vape and all this stuff." I was like, at the
That
time, I was
was
like,
what
yeah,
it was
whatever.
about,
Like,
wasn't
it's
it?
not too true. But that's how it started. But then we got into primes, all right, because everyone loves to talk about prime CT or prime this. I'm like, all right, we got into primes, and me and Devin was like, I was like, me and my prime, I would murder you in a final. All right, Devin was like, no, you wouldn't, because you're an idiot. Like, it doesn't matter, like if he was this and that. And then Devin was like, I beat you in anything. I was like, I'll beat you in all elimination. We was just being immature, going back and forth, who's better, who's the best. And then Devin turns around and says, well, I'll beat you in a fight. He goes, I know BJJ. I was like,
I don't
bro,
know if I
we
said
don't.
I would beat you in a fight. That seems like a
You did. You said I know
maybe in
you
a
was
maybe in a grappling match. I might have said
yeah,
grappling.
yeah. In jiu-jitsu. You're like, I
Okay,
beat you
yeah,
in
that's not a
jiu-jitsu.
fight. I'm not
All right,
delusional.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm not delusional.
right?
Jiu-jitsu guys aren't fighters. They're
No,
pussies, you know?
But
yeah, I'm not delusional.
then me and Devin, and then I go, wow, actually, we don't have to go to an arena or a TV show to test these skills. We could go right now. And whilst we was in the pool,
In the hot
and then
tub.
I was joking, but I was like, you know, up in his face as well. And then we start grabbing each other a little bit, like, hey, what's going on? It's for you know, we're trying to drown each other. security overreacted. Did it look worse? Probably from outside of mine and Devin's perspective. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
No,
we knew he
I
wasn't
can
going to do
assure
anything.
you, it looks worse.
Now, Dev, I gotta ask
I
you
can assure
this.
you.
It was that, and on top of that, which was going on for like half an hour of you saying to that, what's his name, that guy about flirting with Michelle.
Charlie.
Yeah, so it was that. So all this was happening at the same time. He
Yeah.
was saying sort of flirting with my queen. I was like, I don't think he is Charlie. Like he's just.
Well,
I didn't see it.
actually, Theo, in the edit when that was happening, you were just like, "Yeah, Charlie, keep doing it. You should do it." Which
Oh,
is why I was.
I was winding up the situation because I was like, if you're gonna get blamed for something, at least do it then. Something like that.
Yeah.
It was hazy. We was really
Now,
drunk.
now,
We were definitely pretty gassed up, but I wouldn't even say so. This is what I have to work on personally, and I've said this. I've said this, and it apparently is not a popular take. Is that I guess I will always like I'm from Massachusetts. And if ever there's a stranger in a hot tub near my girlfriend, I'm gonna tell them to go away. I would just
it's like stranger danger.
if I don't know you, I'm gonna tell you to go away. I would do that sober in at the YMCA, right? I don't think that was the issue. The issue was what ensued after that. It's not telling him to go away that was the issue. It was the way that I did it, I mean, I was berating the poor kid. I think he was. I think he cried. So
Yeah, I'm
that
sure the abuse didn't help.
I feel really badly about the whole situation, and I just can't express enough how fucking lame loser alert it is to act like that at someone else's baby shower. It's so uncool. And as someone who pretends, or I mean, I do think I'm pretty cool, but I should know better. 100% should know better. So the hot tub
That's kind of the
situation,
behavior that you would expect from me.
that's the type of behavior I would expect from nobody who has an IQ over 90. And I consider myself to have a pretty good emotional and intellectual intelligence. So it was just a big, massive miss. I can't stress it enough. I mean, no one bats 1,000%, but this was, I mean, it's huge fumble, huge, massive, massive fumble.
Yeah,
And it actually did get worse, and we have to talk about the bathtub
Yeah, I was gonna say
situation.
I got to know what happened.
I was trying to avert attention away from the fight.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Hang on, let me
That makes
explain this
sense.
because I haven't watched it, but I've seen some clips. And first of all right, because people were messaging me, like not many people, like 5 people will message me, and another like 4 I've put on my in my comments that I'm an idiot for overrunning a bath. I said this multiple. Oh, I got it. This is chew toy. Sorry, I the baby's chew toy. I said multiple times. Okay, what at the time they wanted me to apologize. I was there led on the side of the bath. Okay, there's a difference. They kept saying you overran the bath. Okay, and you destroyed the whole house. I go technically. Okay, the bath didn't overrun. Okay, you know you have the holes at the front of the bath called the overflow pipe. It
Hmm.
was I was running the bath gently and it was going into the overflow pipe, all right? Because I was we don't have our phones on there, so the challenge. I need to relax. I know what usually relaxes me. It's a huge bath as well. You feel like 4 people in it. Okay, I was like, let me run some water, okay? Let me run the bath, chill out, just pretend I'm in a little spa. You know what? It's like it's like 2 a.m. I was like, I just run it. I just lay on top of it as well because it's really you could like literally lay on the side of it because it's so big. And I
Yeah.
just ran the bath, and it was just going into the overflow pipe for like only about maybe half an hour. You know, this bath ran for too long. Was it a waste of water? Yeah, but we're in England. It's not like we're short on water, so it wasn't a big deal. All right. So I was letting it run, and then security run into the room. Yeah, so I'm like, oh, what's going on? They're like, there's a flood. There's a flood. They didn't even know where it's coming from because the bath wasn't overflowing, and they was trying to find out where this flood's coming from. I was like, oh shit. But I was like, this is someone else running the bath. This is the only like bath on this floor. That's strange. So no one knew what was happening for a while, and they were like, "It's that bath you ran." I go, "Oh, Well, I guess the overflow pipe isn't connected to anything, so it was just going into the overflow pipe onto the floor. Okay, so no one
Okay,
knew.
well,
So it was a faulty pipe, all right, the plumber's fault, and they kept blaming me like you overflooded the bath, like you this is your
I
fault.
thought it was coming over the sides.
That's what they kept. I kept explaining to everyone. I go, that's not what's happened. I go, I'm not an idiot. I'm not just gonna lay there and then the bath overspill when I'm just flipping. I'll be wet myself.
Wow.
And
This
they
is,
kept
I want you
saying,
to know that that is what everybody thinks happened.
I know
Okay.
because I was saying this to I said it to Lisa. I kept saying, I go, I get it. Okay, it's my fault. It's an accident, but stop saying I overran the bath because it didn't overflow. It went into the pipe and it's broke. Okay, I've run
There was a
hundreds of
missing
baths in
pipe.
my life. You know, I do it on holiday all the time. Just let the bath run, not full blast because then it will overspill. But if we do it like 50%, it was going to the overflow pipe. Worst case scenario. But it was broke, and they kept blaming it, and they kicked me out as well. I wasn't allowed to
Yeah,
stay there anymore.
it wasn't broke. What it sounds like is that the bath was almost there for show because if you were to get into a bathtub and you were to lay down in a bathtub, then the water would you would displace the water and the water level would move up, and that's why the overflow pipe is there so that when you get
Exactly,
into a bathtub it doesn't spill over the sides. That's the point of that.
exactly.
So
That's
it
the
may
whole
not have
point.
been intended for baths at all.
I mean, whatever it was, it was a bath. They didn't say not to
uh,
use it. All right, but it wasn't my fault. It was an accident, and he kept saying you got to take it. And Olivia wouldn't believe. Olivia was next door. She could see. I don't know why she got so she got manipulated very easy. She was right next door. She goes, I can't believe you're overrun the bath. I go, where is it overran? She goes, it's still your fault. If our fight didn't happen beforehand, it might have been all right. But it went from the fight straight into the house nearly falling apart because of this water broken pipe situation. It was a bad evening. It was bad. We ruined everything together. Then I put the cherry on top. We was all dead hungover, and I also like to add as well. This is partly nothing to do with it, but it kind of is. This is kind of the challenge producer's fault as well. Because you know why? Because when we go on the challenge, all right, they limit our drinks to like 4 drinks. Okay, so we're used to getting our 4 drinks and drinking them fast. You're like, all right, that's all I'm allowed for the night. So that will hold me through. Or
this is
because you have
not
the
a
order you
good
do it in.
pitch. This is not a good pitch for them not limiting the booze. I'm just going to throw it out
But
there.
but
This is
because then
not
we
a
went
good
on,
pitch.
we get to Vanderpump Villa. They're all doing their thing and working. Before you can even finish a drink, you've got another one. We must have been 15 drinks in, 20 shots down. All right, we was completely wasted. And was that our fault? Maybe because we're adults.
Yeah.
But
No, it was where
there's
I'm
also other
30.
things. There's other fingers to point at as well.
I was 36 at the time. I'm just going to say it was definitely my fault. Whoever else we want to put in the blame pie, that's fine. They can all take a slice if they want. But my actions were definitely my fault. It wasn't the booze. It wasn't the anything else. I just acted like a complete dickhead. And I don't know. I don't even know what kind of mood I was in. That was so weird. It's like I got to bring like
Dev, there's a
something,
there's a
mushrooms or something
there's
to
a
keep myself
screen
on kilter here.
there's a screenshot of a photo of I think a producer or somebody pulling you away and you're completely naked and like laughing. And I've seen that face before on the challenge.
Okay, well, that was post Cannonball. That was post
Yeah,
Cannonball.
so that was before the chaos happened.
So I had gone out to the pool. Every show I've ever been on, this I actually don't think was that bad. In retrospect, again, baby shower, naked cannonball, not the right place, not the right time. But I had taken my clothes off by the pool. And then I got out of the pool and I had left them there. So someone had brought them into the bar for me to go in and get. And they were all in the pool. So when I went in there in my towel, we had started kind of horsing around and we were like kind of standing wrestling each other and I was in a towel. And so then obviously I'm like moving
Towel
around too
came off.
much and the towel fell off. That was unintentional. That I was trying to get my clothes to go up there, but it was like weird because like a naked person in a towel just like came into the bar area. So I should
Yeah.
have known that that was gonna like produce a
Viral.
response.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was going to go there. Now, Theo, were you also behind getting Josh to make out with that Hannah girl to cause a little bit of drama between her and Marciano?
No,
That
Josh,
was all Josh.
Josh,
That was all
That
Josh.
was all Josh. I didn't even really know about what was going on. I just know there was girls, the Vanderpump girls. They too were crying. It was all upset. It was somehow Josh's fault. It was news to me. I didn't even really know about everything that was going on. But Josh was breaking hearts. Like
Josh, the Heartbreak Kid.
somehow.
Did he take
Dude,
one? Did he take one to bed? Is that the proper term in England? If you bring if
I
you
think
is
no. I think the problem was he kicked someone out of bed.
that was the issue.
that was the
That was
issue.
the issue.
That was the main
Yeah, he
issue.
wasn't allowed to stay over or something like that. And I was like, I don't know all the details, but
Josh
she
didn't
was
want to have
upset
us.
that she
Yeah, I
couldn't
don't.
spend the night. I don't know what they done. I don't know if they done the deed or anything like that, and he kicked her out, or she wanted to, and he said no. I don't know, but I know that he said, you can't stay over for the night in my bed, and she got upset, and apparently he kissed two girls, and it was,
Those two girls also didn't like each other, though.
oh,
So
that way.
those two girls didn't like each other, I think, already. And then so it became kind of like we're both going to do this thing to try to upset the other one. And Josh happened to be the beneficiary of that, but he didn't take it that way because he really feels deeply. And so he really, really felt bad. And then it didn't help that people were also making him feel bad. And I'm just going to say this about Marciano. He's a narc, okay?
He's a narc.
He's a narc.
He's a narc. We got a narc alert.
He's an undercover operative for the show. He's a plant.
He's the Johnny Bananas of Vanderpump Villa.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't
I wasn't too sure. Remember, I
know.
got kicked out. I got kicked out, so all my information was being fed from numerous sources at this point. So I wasn't the best. I'm not the best
He
judge
kept
on
kind of
everything.
coming around late at night and fishing for information. In the first night or two, I kind of figured that out. And I was like, yo, we're not talking to this guy anymore because I was getting strong. Obviously, not a real narc,
Not really.
but yeah, like he
Show
was,
narc.
he exactly. He was definitely relaying information. So if anyone's going on Vanderpump Villa, don't trust Marciano.
So Dev, give our viewers the definition of a narc when it comes to reality television.
I think he was taking conversations that we were having and he was running it back and giving that information to either story producer or somebody else that was from behind the camera, potentially Lisa herself. I'm not sure, but I don't trust him. I don't trust him.
Bit Randall then from Recess.
Yeah, he was Randall. He's Randall from Recess.
Okay, I didn't know what a narc was until now.
He's Randall. He is Randall from Recess.
I don't know if they have this term in the UK, but like a narc is somebody that is going to go tell on you. Like,
Yeah, no, he's got it. It's Randall from Recess.
Yeah. Randall.
Yeah. That's my take on that. I mean, most of the staff was pretty nice, but I will say that I don't find most of them to be particularly good at their jobs. The other part of this that happened was that we did. Let me just say, I didn't know what kind of show it was. I thought we were going there, and that honestly, when Lisa yelled at us, I was like, "Oh man, I'm glad we got that part of the show over." And they were like, "No, no, no, that's not part of the show.
This
It
is
doesn't
real.
happen every episode. This is like a first time thing. It's never happened before. You guys are completely fucked." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay, yeah." I was.
And did they show the part when I was on my knees, begging for forgiveness from Olivia because Lisa made me do it? Did they show that?
I think that
She was scolding me so bad, yeah, and it was like, just say sorry. Like I was like, I'm trying to say sorry, but it's the plumber's fault as well. Like I don't know. And they're like, you've ruined this, Devin. Me and we was nursing like the dirtiest hangovers ever, and we're in this room. I thought the same as you, Devin. Like, oh, this is the morning where where Lisa tells us we've been good or bad. We got the and I'm like, we've made some great TV all by accident. But they were like, no, like guys, this is really serious. Like, Theo, we may kick you out of this whole show. I was like, yeah, but
Yeah.
it's part of my baby shower with my girl. How are you gonna kick me off? You're like, all right, we ain't gonna kick you off. You just can't stay over from after 10 p.m.
It was it was a fever dream. It was wild. It was a wild take. And I mean, we've had some themes in this on the this so this is a bonus ep of the Paulie and Dev show. We've had some themes. We did redemption. This one is accountability. And it kind of folds all of our themes into one. And I mean, I would like redemption. So maybe they can invite us back for season 4 and we can
You,
prove to everybody
you want
that
to know?
we're not total
Yeah.
morons.
You want to know who maybe could have like helped navigate the situation? If I was there as a server, I think maybe Theo then could have been having more fun after knocking me out twice in a hall brawl, making me wait and serve every beck and call he had. Oh, Paulie, can you bring me some grapes? I'm quite famished. Can you make sure my girlfriend's glass of water is filled to the top? And then you guys don't fight each other. Maybe he fights me instead, and then I get kicked off. And now
In the hot
Theo's the
tub
hero again.
in the hot tub part 2.
Hot tub part two.
The hot tub part. I believe you guys did have a hot tub fight, right?
We did have a it start no Theo started in the hot tub and then he got
Got
out
it.
of the hot tub. And Dev, after being face to face with Theo and realizing how tall he is, are you a little bit more impressed that I was actually able to kiss him when we fought?
I don't know if
How
they
short I
brought
am?
you like an apple box or how'd you get up that high, but it was, yeah, just you went airborne, which is
Paulie's not that
wild.
small. I keep telling everyone.
Well, oh my God, Theo, I got to tell you this, and then we got to wrap it up because we're already 5 minutes over. They called me a short king.
What?
You're not. You're like 6 foot, and you.
They called me a short king.
Who did?
The butler.
What?
How tall is he? Oh, he's like
He's like
same height as
5'9".
you.
Yeah, they called me a short king. They said Devin's a short king. I said,
No, because I remember you're quite deceivingly tall. You look like you'd be small, but how tall are you?
I'm like a little over 6 feet.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
that's
was
what I thought.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah,
well, anyways, better luck next time to us, I suppose. And that's the
yeah.
story from the horse's mouths here. Paulie, do you have anything else for our first ever guest, or Theo, do you want to plug anything that you got going on?
Yeah, I just
Um,
want Theo on Beast Games now. I
Yeah,
love
me
seeing
too.
yeah.
some Theo TV.
Me
I
too.
love seeing some Theo Campbell TV, whether I'm at the receiving end or whether I'm watching it and being entertained by it.
Theo, you have to take the money when they do the button pressing challenge. You have to take the money right away. Crumple up loyalty and throw it in the toilet. Fuck those people. The first chance you get, take $1 million.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't want to give away the game plans. I don't want to use. I want all my enemies to use any of this evidence against me if I do make it on. But if I get the opportunity to go, I will, I will represent the challenge properly.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, there it is. Theo, tell everybody how they can vote again for you because this is extremely important. And we probably have at least a baker's dozen listeners in the UK, and that could be the difference.
Okay, go on Beast Games vote. If you're from the UK, my face will show. If you're from the US, my face won't show. So you may have to use a VPN if you want to vote, and really helps. I need every single vote I could get. But if not, just like, comment, and share one of my recent posts on my Instagram, Theo_Campbell91, and it will help with the reach.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, if I go, I will represent us all properly, and I will not be drinking.
Whoa. I think they have a Starbucks in there, so I don't think it's an option anyways. But
I don't think they have
I hope
booze.
it's not an option.
yeah, I don't think it's an option. Theo Campbell, everybody, thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. And as always, I am Devin Walker. He's Paulie Calafiore. We were joined today by Theo Campbell, and you all are wonderful. We'll see you next time.
Guys, also, congratulations to Theo for being a dad.
Yes.
Let's give it up to Theo for being a dad.
Atlas, baby.
Come on now.
Second time now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A new
But
dad.
I feel
A
like
new
we're
dad again.
I feel like
dad
we're
again.
a part of this. I feel like we're all uncles of this child. You
Yeah.
know?
I think I got fired.
Alice is a challenge. Yeah, Alice is a challenge baby, and
You know what?
Devin he did have a role, but I think we're
Michelle
pending
brought
the
this
role right
up
now.
last episode. I think all this really needs is just a nice vacation somewhere over some wine, and we all just have a little family chat.
You know what happened, Paulie, is that Atlas actually won the challenge before you did.
I know. there's some champion blood before me in Theo's veins.
And
Think about it.
Atlas won before me as well. So,
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a lot of people.
There it is. All right, boys. Right. Pleasure. Theo, thank you again for joining us. We got to clip it because it's a bonus app.
It's a bonus app.
Later, boys.
Later. Thank you, Theo. Thank you, Dev. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, boys. Later.